Good afternoon or good morning, depending on what part of the world you're watching me from. This is a roaming prepper channel. I'm your host, Pete, and thank you for joining me once again. Today, we're going to have a little bit of fun with a product that I think everyone would get a kick out of. Again, purely a fun video, but applicable to preparedness. I'll be right back, and we're going to talk about that. Well, welcome back, everybody. And again, this is going to be more of a fun video. This, if my brain is working correctly, will post the week of Thanksgiving. I may not be where I normally am the week of Thanksgiving. I'll either be visiting friends, family, they'll be coming to us, we might be on a trip, or I could be drunk as a skunk playing PlayStation and talking smack to my youngest son on the internet, depending on where everyone is. In any case, first and foremost, everyone have a blessed Thanksgiving week. Be safe, be careful, and please don't drink and drive. God, every year, and wear your seatbelts. Every year around this time, I see so many people driving drunk because of the holidays, and inevitably someone didn't wear a seatbelt, and what should have been an embarrassing fender bender, maybe a DUI, is now a funeral. Don't do it. Wear your seatbelt. Don't drink and drive. Get an Uber. Trust me, the $10 you spend on the Uber is great. Or you could pass out in the bar and then just tell the bartender to send you home in a cab. By the way, before I go into my topic, professional tip from a former bartender: if you are the designated driver, tell the bartender that. Say, hey, look, these guys are drinking. I'm the DD tonight. I'm driving everyone home. I just want a Coke and some chips so I can keep up with these guys and make sure they don't run amok. 9 out of 10 bars will get you some free French fries or some nachos or some chips and dip, and they'll keep your soda or your coffee full. When I bartended, guy come up to me or a girl and said, hey, I'm driving tonight. There was one girl would wear her keys with a lanyard around her neck, and she'd be like, I'm the driver tonight. So I could see who it was. And she got free soda, free coffee, whatever the hell she wanted, because I knew she'd get the other 6 idiots home safe. So if you're going to be the designated driver, bravo to you. If you don't have a DD, call an Uber, get a cab. Hell, walk home if it's not too far from the bar. Don't have an accident during the holidays, because the family doesn't need that. This is a time to be happy and to celebrate, or better yet, stay at home, invite the family over, everyone drinks at the house. And, if your son-in-law passes out on the couch, we just leave him there until he wakes up in the morning. In any case, okay, moving on to my topic, which is a fun topic. We talk a lot about firearms and firearm safety and shooting and whatnot. And there's always this running argument: 9mm, 45, 40, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't want to get into that. I want to talk about a round I think is underappreciated, and it's not for everyday use. Like if you're a cop or a soldier or you're on a ranch, it's probably not what you need. Now, if you are a person who might have arthritis or injuries to the hand where you might struggle with a firearm, it may be for you. If you're a new shooter and you want a little less recoil, it might be for you. And if you have to carry really discreet, and this one's a really fun one. So the round I'm talking about is called the 380. Now, a lot of you are going to roll your eyes and go, oh my God, that's a little bullet. In Europe, however, the 380 is known as the 9mm Kurtz, Kurtz, which basically means short. Now, much like the 38 Special is really the short granddaddy of the 357 Magnum, the only difference is it's a longer bullet with more powder. The 380 is the opposite. The 380 is the little brother of the 9mm, and it's shorter. And typically, because it's a smaller bullet and it's lighter, it comes in with a lot less recoil. Now, this is actually my wife's SIG 238. And yes, she Cerakoted it Louis Vuitton. When she did that, I was like, you're going to Louis Vuitton your SIG? She's like, shut up, it's my gun. And then this one's actually featured on Cerakote Chick's website because she did the Cerakoting. Look at the detail on that. Tell me, look, I'm not. I know I'm a guy, and I'm not like Elton John type of guy, and I'm not bougie. That's freaking impressive, the detail. But in any case, I digress. So this is Sig Sauer 380. It's a single stack. Those of you who are firearms enthusiasts will look at it and go, I've seen something like this before. I believe the original Mini 380 was called the Colt Pony. I don't know if you guys remember that. This, I was probably a kid when this thing was popular. This is the more modern version. Now, this particular pistol is a single action only. It's almost identical to a 1911, but it shrunk and it made it really tiny. You notice the slide doesn't take a lot to pull back. I'm just using a couple of fingers. Now, because it's a single action only, you have two options. You either travel around, hammer back with safety on, which, ready to go condition, which is how a lot of people carry a 1911. Or you can basically leave it hammer down with none in the chamber, and then upon need, you rack it. However, when you rack it, it's a little bit tighter than it is just moving it. You saw that. I had to fight with it a bit. But it's an extra motion. So if you have to pull it out in an emergency, you have to mentally train yourself to do that every single time. However, I will tell you, up until she got her VP9 and the 365 XL, that she's now her carry piece, this went everywhere with her. It is it's a moderate price handgun. It is a SIG, so it gets a premium. This is probably the better part of 10 years old. And then she Cerakoted it. It was, starting to get the little wear from the holster. And then she did this. Now it's just cool. It's her bougie piece, effective at close range. And it's also a lot of fun to shoot. I'm seeing a lot of movement toward really small compacts. There's a trade-off. For those of you who shoot, you know what I'm talking about. You could take a same bullet, whether it's 389, 40, 45. You take the same bullet, put it in a big handgun. It looks intimidating, but because of the size of the pistol, the size of the spring, and the weight, there's less recoil. The smaller you make the handgun, the more recoil you typically will feel, especially if you're a new shooter or you're a smaller statured shooter. You're going to feel that more. I just like the stability. I like the full sizes, the VP9s. I used to carry an M9, which was a brick, by the way. I also have a SIG 226, which is a competition gun. Nice, heavy, stable, all metal body. It's just a big tank of a pistol. Surprisingly, this is top and bottom. It's metal. The whole thing is metal, so it's actually kind of heavy, and that lends to the reduced recoil as well. The spring works really nicely. You can see the grips are textured. It's actually a good piece. So if you're looking for something a little smaller than your typical 9 or 40 or 45, or you're a smaller statured shooter. Now, I believe Glock also has a single stack. It is what you'd refer to as a single stack because it's just the bullets are just in a straight line. They're not staggered. Glock has a single stack 380 and a single stack 9. The ergonomics are very nice. HK just came out with a subcompact 9mm. I like the look of it. The grip is a little short. It reminds me of the Glock 26 where your pinky's hanging unless you get the extended mag. I'm kind of on the fence with that. For that, I'd rather get a SIG 365 XL, which is what my wife, my son-in-law, and my daughter are carrying. So it made sense. I probably should get one too. Then everyone has the same magazine. And by the way, if you can pull that off, that's a good thing. If everyone has a Glock or a Taurus, hypothetically, you can interchange mags. But in any case, a really fun little piece, a little bit of a unusual find. And I get a kick out of the artwork. The level of intricacy that this Cerakoting artist does is just phenomenal. And this is really, I bet the ladies who are in the chat right now, I'm hoping to make my own video so I can chat with y'all, but I'm sure you guys would be getting a kick out of this. Classy, and yes, it works. When we first took it out of the box, she took it, I test fired it, she test fired it. We put all of them in the black at 7 yards. We didn't have to struggle. It just lined up naturally. It was an unusually fun shooter for such a small pistol. In any case, I thought you guys would get a kick out of this little piece of art. Again, if you're going to get Cerakoting done, check the references, make sure that the people who are doing it are a quality place that have a good reputation. You don't want someone screwing up the internals of your handgun when they disassemble it. And of course, practice. Practice not only makes perfect, it makes you more competent and more comfortable. And God forbid something happens where you actually need this. You're not going to think about it. It's going to be muscle memory. In any case, a little bit of fun with a very bougie little piece. And thank you to Sassy Southern, my better half, for allowing me to show off her little piece. In any case, you guys be good, be safe, be careful, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Don't shoot the turkey, not funny. And yeah, don't drink and drive. You guys be good. We'll see you later.